Well, good morning, Engineer Paola Flores. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you, and thank you for your time to converse a little about a topic very interesting in the actuality, like is artificial insemination. Definitely, the animal biotechnology is having a big impact on the livestock areas from various countries, including Honduras. I will to do some questions. Well, in what consists the artificial insemination in cattle?
The artificial insemination is a process. In this process, we can see a lot of improvement about genetic breedings, height, fertility, and try to control the sanitary process in all the farm. The artificial insemination consists in palpation in the tract, reproductive tract, in the cattle, and then just deposit a little percent of semen, specifically in uterine body of the cattle.
Okay. Really is very interesting the process that the people release to apply the artificial insemination in your cows. Now, for you, which are the advantages of applying this method in cows?
One of the most important advance is improving the genetic. Some livestock have some problems because they have races that are mixed. So the productions in milk or beef is not a good production. So with the artificial insemination, we can get high fertility, and also we can get improving genetic or breedings to get more milk or more beef, pounds of beef.
Okay, well, a producer with this method could improve the genetics of their cattle herds and save several problems. Since Zamorano has taken into account this method as a part of teaching and also as a production activity, what were the main factors that had to be considered to start with artificial insemination in Zamorano?
Well, first, we have to consider that kind of animals we are working, because some cattle are not to fertility. Some cattle, they don't have the age, the required age, and also the races. One of the most problems are the reproductive controls, because to do the artificial insemination, all the heifers or all the cattle must be present heat. If they don't have heat, the artificial insemination can be successful. And then another consideration is the sanitary process, because this is related with the genetic and also with the races and also with the control in the livestock.
Okay, are many the advantages that have artificial insemination, and this method help to Zamorano for have high productivity and fertility in the cattle. Well, I read that although artificial insemination is a good method, but initial costs can be really high. So some producers have not access to artificial insemination. For you, is economically feasible to invest in artificial insemination?
Okay, about the cost, you are right. The artificial insemination is not a cheap process, but actually, all a lot of farmers in Honduras work with artificial insemination, uh, basically for the benefits. In this case, they get more production and they get improved the genetic using this process, and they don't have to spend too much money. I mean, is um, like equilibrium in the cost and the benefits that they can get with using this process.
So we can say that the method is not very accessible for producer for economic situation in this case.
Um, Artificial insemination can be um, a good process. I mean, about the cost, can be rentability in this process because um, have some benefits in the productions, and we can use cement because they have more benefits than the conventional cement.
Okay, the costs uh, are not the main constraint for producers because they have many benefits to implement this method in your color hairs. Correspond to personnel that can release the artificial insemination. Anyone can perform artificial insemination, and what are the characteristics that require the personnel who perform the process of artificial insemination?
The person that used to do the artificial insemination can be have to be capacitated person in this technique. Is do the technique in the field with the cattle. Um, they don't need too much information. I mean, have to go to the school. It's just experience.
Okay. What about people who have the experience but not the technical knowledge of the method? What are the difficulties with this kind of people?
In Honduras, actually, all the people, no all, but the most people to do this technique is workers, are workers that work in the farmers. they have the experience, the enough experience to do this, and also they get high fertility and pregnancy rate. So they know they don't need to study a lot to do this. It's just work and do once and once again.
Okay, it really very interesting that for release this method is not necessary the technical knowledge because the experience is a good part, a good factor that help to release good artificial insemination. Now, which are the difficulties that may be encountered during the process of artificial insemination?
Um, the difficulties are one, detect the heat. This is one of the most difficult uh, part in the process because the person who is going to do the artificial insemination must be sure that the cattle or cows are in heat, and then the palpation, the palpation in the reproductive tract, it's not too easy because they have to find a landmark for insemination, and then just try to get the reproductive tract and know the size of each part of the reproductive tract, um, and also know the structure that we can get in the ovaries, and they usually have some errors can be result in this process because they deposit the semen in a place that is not the correct place.
Okay. I read about difference between artificial insemination and natural service. And information mentioned that 56.9% of cattle ranchers use the natural service in their farm to reproduction of cows. And my doubt is if the artificial insemination is efficient, why many cattle ranchers prefer to continue using natural service.
There are two processes completely different because um, the natural service is just the bowl that is depositing the semen in the tract, reproductive tract of the cattle. In the artificial insemination, we deposit less amount, and then we need experience. And for the farmers or ranchers, the problem is they don't have to use too much cement or repeat artificial insemination too much times in the same animal because this is gonna be too high the cost compared with the natural service. In natural service is basically cheaper and free. We just pay for the bowl one time, and in each cattle that doesn't have high fertility or have too much reproductive problems, we use insemination twice. The third time that the cattle present heat and have to do artificial insemination before twice time in the same animal, they must the rancher must have to do natural service, because if he continue doing artificial insemination in these cattle, the cost is gonna be very high.
Okay. And concerning the application of the method in Zamorano, how often is applied artificial insemination in Zamorano? And have you done works of artificial insemination for external ranchers?
How often apply artificial insemination in Zamorano? It's every day, because they are programmed, they are synchronized, so every day one or two or three cattle present heat, so they have to be applied the artificial insemination, must be in the morning or in the afternoon, but they have to be inseminated in that day. About external ranchers, Zamorano makes some work with external ranchers, but they are persons that have to be too much close to Zamorano. It's not the objective, it's just to teach the students, that is the object, to do work outside of Zamorano.
Well, aspect of this aspect that you mentioned and the benefits that contain artificial insemination and the benefit that a rancher can have, would it be advisable to use artificial insemination in livestock areas of Honduras?
Artificial insemination is using in different areas here in Honduras. I think most of the ranchers in this country are using this technology. For a long time, artificial insemination has been one of the most technique using and with the most results, considering the genetic and the high productions and the improved breeding.
I am very much agree with your opinion. The artificial insemination is a very extensive and important topic for the genetic in livestock. Certainly, any country can adopt. It was a very interesting and productive conversation. Thank you very much for sharing with me your knowledge about this topic.
You will.